Picture Lionel Messi, frozen on the pitch at New York, New Jersey Stadium, his hands on his hips, his eyes fixed on the referee. 20 yards away, Ferran Torres is sprinting toward the corner flag, arms wide, screaming into a wall of red and yellow. The scoreboard reads Spain 1, Argentina 0. The clock reads 106 minutes. And in that exact moment, on July 19, 2026, the second World Cup of Messi's career slipped through his fingers. But here is the part nobody wants to talk about, because the cameras cut away too fast, because the trophy lift was already being lined up, because FIFA had a ceremony to run. Watch the replays. Watch them slowly. There is a decision inside that final that fans are now calling one of the most suspicious moments in modern World Cup history. Over 80,000 people have already signed a petition demanding the game be replayed, and a leaked audio clip from the officials' communication has now started to circulate online, adding fuel to the fire. When you actually open FIFA's own rulebook, a very strange door opens with it. This is the story of a final that ended on the scoreboard, but refuses to end anywhere else. Fans across 2 continents are now asking the question FIFA never wanted asked. Did Argentina lose the World Cup, or did the World Cup lose Argentina? That is FIFA's worst nightmare, because the trophy is already engraved. The champions are already home, and yet the story is still moving, still bleeding into every social feed, every group chat, every sports desk from Buenos Aires to Barcelona. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a rulebook question, and it is one FIFA cannot afford to answer honestly. So, let us go through exactly what happened, because this one is bad. Start with the facts. Cold, boring, undeniable. The final. Spain versus Argentina. New York, New Jersey Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Over 80,000 people inside. Hundreds of millions watching from home. 90 minutes ended 0-0. Extra time began, and in the 106th minute, Ferran Torres slid the ball past Emiliano Martinez to make it 1-0. That was the only goal of the match. That was the goal that decided everything. The referee, Slavko Vincic, pronounced Slavko Vincic, the first Slovenian to ever take charge of a World Cup final. His name is now trending in 7 languages. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable, because Vincic made calls that even a former head of English refereeing has publicly criticized. Start with the Nico Williams moment. Williams thought he had scored for Spain in extra time. The finish went in, the stadium erupted, and then VAR stepped in and chalked it off, ruling a foul by Mikel Merino in the build-up. Keith Hackett, the former PGMOL chief and former FIFA referee, told Football Insider that VAR should have intervened the other way, that the disallowance was, in his words, harsh. His verdict, from a man who spent decades running the whistle at the top level, was blunt. The decision was wrong. Argentina then had a penalty appeal in the second half. It was waved away, no pitch-side review, no second look on the monitor. And then came the flashpoint. In the 82nd minute, Enzo Fernandez was booked for dissent, arguing over a denied free kick after the slightest of touches from Rodri. 11 minutes later, in the 93rd minute, he charged into a reckless challenge on Pau Cubarsí. Second yellow, straight off. Argentina down to 10 men just as extra time was about to kick in. Here is FIFA's official version. The referee made judgment calls. The video assistant referee reviewed them. Everything was cleared. Everything was in line with the laws of the game. And then you watch the tape. You watch Enzo Fernandez lose his cool. You watch the dissent. You watch the tackle. And you watch the whole stadium fall silent for a beat too long. Keith Hackett called the Williams disallowance wrong, on the biggest stage in football. One pundit on live television said, close to a direct quote, "That was harsh. That is not how you decide a World Cup final." And Argentina's own coach, Lionel Scaloni, refused to attack the referee publicly. He said Spain were the better team. Fair enough. But when the head of your own federation, Claudio Tapia, has to go on Instagram and beg fans to accept the result, you know something is off. Because you do not have to defend a clean win. You only defend a messy one. So let us zoom out, because this isn't one bad night in isolation. This is the ending of a tournament drowning in officiating controversy for 6 weeks. Contested VAR reviews in the group stage. Pundits calling out semi-automated offside errors. NPR ran a piece on how VAR continues to anger players and fans. Egypt's head coach, Hassam Hassan, publicly accused FIFA earlier in the tournament of wanting Argentina to stay in the competition for as long as possible. Fans in Morocco, in Portugal, and Croatia, all saying the same thing, that the officiating in 2026 felt off, felt tilted, felt scripted. And now here we are, the same Argentina, losing after a second yellow in extra time, brick after brick after brick, all in 6 weeks, all building the same wall. The wall says the 2026 World Cup will not be remembered for the football. It will be remembered for the whistles. That is the real story here. Let me line the pieces up for you. One by one, the disallowed Nico Williams goal, ruled harsh by Keith Hackett, ex-PGMOL chief. The denied Argentina penalty appeal, never sent to a full pitch-side review. The 82nd minute yellow to Enzo Fernandez for dissent. The 93rd minute second yellow for the Cubarsí tackle. Argentina down to 10 men before extra time. The 106th minute Ferran Torres winner, against 10 men, in extra time. The post-match chaos. Leandro Paredes losing his head after the final whistle. Grabbing Spain's Eric Garcia by the throat, shoving Gavi to the ground. Now here is where the story gets even stranger. The match tracker briefly showed a red card for Paredes on screen. Then quietly, that red card was deleted. FIFA has since confirmed to the BBC that Paredes did not officially receive a red card on the day, and no in-match disciplinary action was taken. But FIFA has also opened an official investigation, appointing a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor. That decision is still pending, which means Paredes could still be punished later. He just was not punished on the night. A petition on change.org, started by Argentina fan Gisela Sanchez, more than 82,000 signatures in under 72 hours, calling the officiating, in her words, corrupt. A second separate petition, this one aimed at Paredes and Argentina's post-match behavior, demanding Argentina be banned from future World Cups, reported to have crossed 23 million signatures, nearly a Guinness World Record. Even Argentina's own president, Javier Milei, was forced to break his silence. That is not a fan tantrum. That is a movement. Let me be fair for a second, because this channel does not deal in fantasy. Spain controlled possession. Luis de la Fuente set his team up better than Scaloni did. Ferran Torres deserved his goal. Enzo Fernandez lost his temper first and put himself in the referee's book for dissent before the tackle even happened. And the 23 million petition is not about the referee at all. It is about Paredes, about player conduct, two very different stories being merged into one by angry fans. FIFA has produced no evidence of corruption, none. The petitions have no legal weight. Argentina's own federation president has publicly said Spain won fair and square. That is all honest. That has to be said. But that is exactly what makes this dangerous instead of settled. Because the official story and the fan story are now two different stories. And the gap between them is where trust in FIFA goes to die. But that is not the story that is going to be remembered. So let us put the whole thing together. Was this a clean World Cup final decided by a better team on the night? Or was this a final where a Slovenian referee, a harsh VAR call, a second yellow, and a stadium full of confused fans handed Spain a trophy Argentina had one foot on already? And more importantly, which side are you on? Are you Team Spain won it? Get over it. Or are you Team the final was stolen and the tape does not lie? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and this is the exact video where your opinion matters more than mine. A like genuinely helps more than you would think. Subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that actually reads the rulebook instead of reading the press release. Because football at this scale is never just a tournament, it is a mirror. And right now the mirror is cracked.